Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I've been providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at MMTLP, who've just released a Form 8A. We're also going to be looking at a Form 14A from Meta Materials and looking at the implications of both of those releases. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first headline here from Bloomberg: the S&P 500 turns lower in the final 30 minutes of trading. So stocks are retreating amid quarter end positioning and rebalancing. And we can also see here from Yahoo Finance in terms of Trump's Truth Social stock has soared in the first day of trading. So I think there is a potential deal there. So good news for DWAC. And another thing I'd like to share with you is a post tagging in FINRA, what I did today. So they were talking about short interest. So what I've tagged into FINRA is and stated to them is basically saying they're talking about what is short interest, what is it not, what you need to know about short interest. And what I've stated is, do you have a short memory about short interest in MMTLP, or maybe you were just short on the facts? So before we look at the 8A, I'm going to share with you a post that I shared just after the 8A was released, and what it states here in terms of a summary: the total shares of common stock are now confirmed to be 500 million, plus 50 million shares of preferred stock. The common stock is not listed on any national exchange. It's not eligible for electronic trading through the DTC or any other established clearing corporation or markets. And there are still no public trading market for the shares. And basically this means, in my opinion, and I think in most people who understand financial companies and regulations, it means that Nextbridge Hydrocarbons remains as a private company. However, it is public reporting because of the number of shareholders, and the transfer agent and registrar of the common stock is now Equinity Trust Company LLC. So that's a key change, and we know previously that was AST. So let's have a look at the 8A now. Let's now have a look at the finer details of this Form 8A released by Nextbridge Hydrocarbons Incorporated. So if we move on to item 1, we can see here description of registrant's securities to be registered, and underneath there we can see under the item general, the key thing is the registrant was incorporated on August 31st 2021, and as of March 2024, the registrant had just in excess of 248 million shares of common stock outstanding. And in terms of authorized capital stock, we can see here the total authorized capital stock of 500 million common shares is what they are saying in terms of total. They also have 50 million shares of preferred stock. So key details there. And going on in terms of the following occurs, obviously this is what would happen in terms of being a change. So for them to trade, let's say for example on a public exchange, they would need a reclassification of the securities without limitation in terms of the shares. But at the moment they are not going to be trading on a public platform, not on the OTC, not on the NASDAQ, not on the NYSE, etc. So they are to remain as a private company. And if we continue under the heading transfer agent, we can see the transfer agent and registrar for the common stock as confirmed is Equinity, and this was formerly known as AST. So in terms of the listing, we can see here again confirmation that the shares are not eligible for electronic trading through the DTC, no established public trading for the market. So they are intending to remain as a private company, and they are also intending to be public reporting due to the number of shareholders. So based on the information that I've just shared in the 14A, there is a person out there, although I'm not sure it's a person, it could be an elephant, and he stated basically technically Nextbridge Hydrocarbons is a public company as per Perkins Cole's Public Company Handbook. So God knows what kind of reference this person is providing here. Perkins Cole's Public Company Handbook. So if that's what he's following, then unfortunately I have to say that some people are just dumb. And there is another saying, I believe, that you can take a dog to water, but you can't make it drink. But maybe we could say that you can take an elephant to water, but you can't make the elephant drink. But continuing with the elephant here, we can see that he states here, now that you are past your quiet period, are you going to comment on your Meta Materials decision to not stop the MMTLP spin out to address FINRA's U3 halt? So he's tagging in George Palikaras here. Or with regard to your position, you wiped your hands clean of it, and in terms of the MMTLP shareholders, they basically on their own to deal with things. So George has responded, and he's basically stated he is now available to speak to Congress. He's available to speak to regulators, and he's ready to provide complete assistance and all information with regard to U3 halt from his perspective. So he's talking to the elephant here, and others need to know that Meta Materials and NextBridge Hydrocarbons have the legal power to share information on exactly what happened, and which is currently considered company confidential. So they have the power because obviously they are the insiders. George is now an outsider. So looking for the answer for those who hold the information hostage. You could consider writing a letter like the one shared today from Jonah, shared in the previous video, and that could be signed by many MMTLP shareholders. So it looks like this person is obviously looking to create conflicts in the MMTLP community. I finally like to finish off by having a look at the 14A released by Meta Materials, and what I posted about this is that Meta Materials has released a 14A to include a letter to expand upon Meta's request for a vote for for their proposal, and they claim that your vote is extremely important. So as far as I'm concerned, I think that shareholders would say that communication, transparency and getting contracts is more important than driving down the share price, especially with regard to what they've done in terms of the reverse split. So I'm going to give a shout out here to Magic Ice, who's down this letter. But what he stated here is, while all of a sudden they're relying on us, well, listen to us then, because they want us to listen to them. Whatever you do, do not increase the number of shares. March, we will see contracts and orders, question mark. Is that basically a promise? Is that a fact, or is that speculation? Get paid for orders 50 to 7% ahead, apply for loans, or find investors. So some important and obviously valid suggestions there for the company. So it's highlighted here in green. Obviously the company have stated here that they have deals with Panasonic. I believe George Palikaras was behind that, and they are saying here they're in the final stages of production testing. So we also need clarification on how long it's going to take for that in terms of generating revenue and generating income and potentially getting closer to profit, which is what we will need in terms of driving the share price up. So the company have also highlighted the Vlepsis flight testing, and that should be completed in March 2024. Well, we're in March 2024 right now, and I think we have approximately 4 or 5 days left, so we need a progress and update on that. So I'd be very surprised if you do get that completed in the next 5 days, but fingers crossed you do. And they stated we need to procure component and sub-assembly inventory to address the projected immediacy of demand. In other words, we're begging for money. And they also go on to say, have been successfully using Meta's NPOR and NCORE products in limited runs. We now have production requests for different sizes, significantly higher quantities, and plan to scale up production. And obviously that requires investment. Well, there are other avenues to get investments, such as loans and obviously generating revenue to get that money coming in, which certainly is not happening. But what they are saying here in red, we are relying on the shareholders to help us out and reach our next milestone to make Meta on the path towards success. Well, as far as I'm concerned, shareholders are very disappointed, and they're going to need a lot more than these promises, which we're not even sure you're going to keep. And finally, if you'd like to get a copy of our daily stock alerts as well as our weekly watches, and also take part in live trading discussions, and also get access to due diligence and breaking news, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.